All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in New York for today's panel debate about different careers in finance. I am Frederick Maro, the CEO and founder of HitecVision. I'll be your host for today. HitecVision is your number one source for career advice on demand. In addition to today's panelists, we have a network of over 3,000 professionals who've worked at the top employers worldwide and who are available on demand to help you with mock interviews, resume critiques, or career conversations so that you can jump through the same hoops that they did to get the job that you want. We also have, in addition to today's webinar, a library of over 100 webinars that are recorded. 14 of them are on the finance topic, and we're going to do about 2 webinars every week live this academic year. So today I have with me 5 panelists representing 5 different career paths in finance. We've got one person from investment management, we've got one person from private wealth management, 2 investment bankers, and 1 person from private equity. 2 of these panelists started their careers in finance directly out of undergrad. 3 of them transitioned into finance, 1 from the Army and 2 of them from a background in consulting. We've got 1 person here representing Europe, and we've got 4 representing the US. And together, these 5 panelists have worked at Goldman Sachs, PIMCO, Evercore, and HitecVision. So another thing you might notice about today's panelists is that they're all men. We apologize for that, but that is somewhat reflective of the gender ratio in the finance industry in general. And so we'll talk about that. Another thing you might notice if you're tuning in live is that this is Sunday, which is also a little bit reflective of how much these people work. So we'll talk about that. And lastly, we're going to talk about how the finance industry has changed and what that means for different career opportunities out there. Today's debate is going to go for about 45 minutes, and it's going to be structured in about 3 segments. First, we'll talk about the different types of jobs that exist here, represented by each of our panelists. Then we'll talk about how it is you go about getting those types of jobs. And then we'll talk about how to be successful in these types of jobs. And lastly, we'll take some questions from the audience. So without further ado, I want to move down the line here, starting with Sean. If you could just start very quickly, tell us your name, what you do, and explain to me as if I'm a 10-year-old what it is that you do at your job.
Sure. So I'm Sean Cameron, and I'm a portfolio manager at PIMCO. And my job is to buy bonds on behalf of our clients. So I serve as a fiduciary on behalf of institutional and individual clients. And my role is to identify fixed income securities around the globe, but predominantly in the US, that make sense for our clients' portfolios based on their risk profile and based on their return expectations. So functionally what that actually means is that I sit at a desk each day for about 9 hours-ish a day, about 50 to 60 hours a week, and sit in front of a Bloomberg terminal, an Excel spreadsheet, and a bunch of internal risk systems that help me identify which bonds look particularly attractive and which bonds are overpriced and not worthy of investing in. In terms of holistically, what I like about this type of position is that I love markets, and you have to love markets to be in investment management in a markets-oriented role. And I also have some control over my time. So I'm busy Monday through Friday, but because I'm tied to a Bloomberg and markets, I do have my weekends free, which I like as well. So it's a lifestyle that suits me. I've been in finance and investments now for 6 to 7 years or so, all in. And I think it speaks to me most because of my keen interest in financial markets broadly.
Matt, how about you?
Great, thanks. My name is Matthew Caldwell. I work at Goldman Sachs in their private wealth group. And we manage money mostly for high net worth individuals and families. We also work with a number of foundations and endowments. Where Sean works primarily with fixed income and bond securities, we work in every asset class. So I'll advise a family on how to develop a diversified portfolio, but we'll talk about funds and securities that are in fixed income, equities, and then alternative investments, which are hedge funds, private equity, and real estate. What drew me to the job was the ability to work with a number of interesting people, mostly outside of Wall Street, entrepreneurs, private business owners, and then ask as act as a conduit for them, for within Goldman, and bring them the resources that the firm has.